What do you want people to know now that these pages, this investigation, all these investigations have been released? What do you want the public to know about it?
Very interesting, Robin, in all of these pages, hundreds of pages, many, many hours of investigation going to the Philippines, going to Chicago, going all over the country. There's not one scrap of evidence that Michael Jackson ever harmed a child, did anything wrong, committed any crime. It's almost a vindication when you look at this. The FBI looked at all of these matters and said, there's nothing here. And I think that's the most startling thing which I've seen.
Bring a federal case against him. So to say that the FBI did a 10-year, 13-year investigation and found nothing is not true at all. We found Arvizo, we found Jordy Chandler, incredibly truthful, and they were reliable witnesses. They never met each other. They never spoke to each other. They never knew what each other went through, and they told stories that were incredibly parallel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. It's the best way to support my channel. We back on it again. I'm going to start doing some more positive stuff because going through this Michael Jackson stuff is very, very challenging. And be honest, what makes it challenging is the people who just are going to defend him. They defend him and they want to blame the parents. They want to blame an overzealous DA. They want to blame all these people. They don't hold Michael Jackson accountable for nothing. And this is a man who admitted to sleeping with a child. This is a man who, in his defense, had children come speak for him and said they slept in the bed with him. No grown man should be sleeping in the bed with kids, especially when you sexually aware. Okay? He was not some like sexually awkward dude. He was very much aware of sexuality. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's got porn. That's exactly why he's got porn. And he has a type. He has a type. And we can't ignore that. So the one thing that I said I was going to do is I'm also going to debunk myths. Right? And the myths I'm going to debunk have a lot to do with the things that the Jackson defenders say that try to give him some sort of grace. Like, they're trying everything. I told them today, I said, there's a picture of Michael Jackson in the bedroom of Jordan Chandler wearing his pajamas and a hat at 34 years old. All right. Now, no 34-year-old man should be in the bedroom of a child preparing to go to bed. It's like you can't make that simple. You know, Michael Jackson was sleeping with Jordan Chandler before he even met Evan. You know, like, so today we're gonna put another thing to bed. It's the FBI files. The FBI files were released in 2009, I believe. And there was this real big push to say, oh, the FBI said they didn't find anything. Well, Michael Jackson is innocent. No, that's not how that works. There is a synopsis of what's in those files because we also know something else. A lot of those files are redacted. So we don't have access to everything in that file. Okay? Now, what we do have that's public, that we can all read, we have a synopsis. We have a synopsis of what's in those files. Okay? So I'm going to read the synopsis, and I'm going to also play some audio from Jim Clemente, who spoke with MJ victims. And he indicated what he understood in the case and what the FBI actually did. Okay? And this is really going to hurt a lot of you defenders' feelings, because Jim Clemente says he absolutely believed Jordan Chandler. Okay? And he's with the FBI. He was supposed to testify in 2005. He got sick, couldn't testify. Okay? So I'm going to go into the FBI document. Now, it says, and I'll have a link. I'll put a link in the bio to this page so all of you can read it. And you all should read it, because we need to bring some clarity to this. Okay? Got to stop using the FBI as an excuse. Michael Jackson investigative files released. In response to the Freedom of Information Act request, the Bureau has released its investigative files on the late entertainer Michael Jackson, who died earlier this year. The records total 333 pages, divided into 7 files. They detailed the FBI's investigation of a man who threatened to kill Jackson. Okay? So there is in the FBI files, there's a threat to kill Michael Jackson. Okay? As well as various forms of assistance to California authorities in 2 cases involving allegations that Jackson had abused children. It should be emphasized that none of these allegations were ever proven in court. The files are available on the Freedom of Information Act privacy website, but here's a quick rundown of what they contain. The first file, 9A-LA-142276, was opened by the Los Angeles FBI office when it was asked to lead a federal case against a California man already under arrest for sending numerous threatening letters. The man, who falsely claimed to be the son of mobster John Gotti, had staked out Jackson's house and threatened to kill him, the U.S. president, and others. He was ruled incompetent to stand trial and sent to prison for 2 years. Okay, so we have a man who was stalking Michael Jackson. He went to prison for 2 years. That's one incident where the FBI got involved. All right. The second and third files, 62D-LA-162715 and 62D-LO-11779 involved the Bureau's support of local law enforcement in 1993. The Los Angeles and Santa Barbara police departments formed a task force to investigate an allegation that Jackson had molested a young boy. FBI field divisions in Los Angeles and in New York, as well as bureaus overseas offices in Manila and London, provided assistance in that case. That is key. Assistance. This was never the FBI's investigation fully. They provided assistance. Investigators gathered public records on Jackson, interviewed a potential witness, and followed various other leads. The FBI assisted Los Angeles Police Department detectives who traveled to the Philippines to interview possible witnesses and shared news reports from London about a potential victim. The U.S. attorney declined to pursue a federal investigation, including a possible violation of the Mann Act, transporting a minor across state lines for immoral purposes. And no charges were filed by the state. Okay? So those are two cases. Now, the interesting part of this is it says the FBI assisted Los Angeles Police Department detectives. Assistance doesn't mean it's your investigation. You helped. Okay? And helping someone with an investigation doesn't make it your investigation. Okay? And we also have instances that I'm going to show where the FBI got involved with an actual sexual abuse claim, and they didn't charge anybody. They were actually sued because they missed a lot of things that could have put the accused away.
More than 90 women filed lawsuits on Wednesday against the FBI, accusing former agents of botching the sex abuse investigation into one-time USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. Olympic gymnastics stars Simone Biles, Aly Raisman, and Michaela Maroney are among the women seeking more than $1 billion, according to their lawyers. FBI officials were not immediately available for comment. Federal law allows individuals who were injured due to negligence or wrongful act or omission by the federal government to be compensated. The lawsuit comes 2 weeks after the U.S. Justice Department said it will stand by its prior decision not to file criminal charges against former FBI agents accused of botching the investigation into Nassar in 2015. Nassar was sentenced in 2018 to up to 175 years in prison for abusing young female gymnasts entrusted to his care. In September 2021, high-profile Olympic gymnasts, including Biles and Maroney, gave heart-wrenching testimony before a U.S. Senate panel about the sexual abuse they endured for years under Nassar's care. At that hearing, the gymnasts blasted the FBI for its mishandling of the investigation. Maroney was the only victim they interviewed after receiving the first complaint.
To have my abuse be minimized and disregarded by the people who were supposed to protect me, just to feel like my abuse was not enough. But the truth is, my abuse was enough, and they wanted to cover it up.
A July 2021 report by the Justice Department uncovered widespread and dire errors by the FBI that allowed Nassar to continue to abuse at least 70 more victims before he was finally arrested.
So let's not act like the FBI is the creme de la creme of investigations, okay? They're human. And I'm very curious about this trip to the Philippines. Who do we know that's associated with Michael Jackson in the Philippines? I think I got a story about that.
We also have no comment to make.
To the world press, these two detectives offered no clues about their 6-hour interview with Mark and Faye Quindoy, a Filipino couple who say they supervise Michael Jackson's staff at his Neverland Ranch.
Just like the officers here, we cannot comment. Just say adieu at this time.
But Hard Copy has learned that the Quindoys gave the investigators the names of 4 young boys whom they believe the superstar molested. They also provided police with what they say is corroborating evidence. First and foremost, Mr. Quindoy's daily diary, in which he says he noted all the instances of abuse he witnessed.
But everything's here in this diary.
The Quindoys also gave investigators photographs of the 4 young boys they named, their phone numbers and addresses, also receipts for lavish gifts. Freelance journalist Kathy Griffin spoke this morning with the Quindoys about their meeting with police. What did the Quindoys tell you they told the police?
They gave up the names, phone numbers, and addresses of boys that they believe have been molested by Michael Jackson.
Kathy Griffin met the Quindoys 2 years ago while researching a book on Michael Jackson. So why did it take the Quindoys so long to speak out?
Finally, one parent and one child had the guts to go forward. And look what's happened to them.
There is a matter of them having a $500,000 claim in back wages against Michael Jackson. Does that taint their story in any way?
It doesn't taint what they saw. The stories they told me 2 years ago are the exact stories they told me 3 weeks ago.
All right. And in 2003, Jackson was charged by the state of California with molestation and other counts. The final three files, 62D-LA-236081, 252B-IR-6808, and 305B-LA-239205. Detailed the Bureau's support to local law enforcement. There we go again. Support to local law enforcement. Again, this was not the FBI's investigation. Okay? Detailed the Bureau's support to local law enforcement during the ensuing investigation. The first of these files describe an FBI response to a Los Angeles Police Department request to analyze computers and digital media obtained from Jackson's home under court warrant. Okay, so this clearly explains they looked at computers. They looked at other digital media. Okay, this is what they did to help local law enforcement. All right. The second involves a request by the Santa Barbara County District Attorney for help and guidance from behavioral analysts in the FBI's Critical Incident Response Group. Now, what does that tell me? Behavioral analysts. Is it possible that these FBI analysts may have interviewed Gavin Arvizo? Okay. Is it possible that the FBI told them that they found Gavin credible, which further gave an opportunity for an indictment? I mean, they had to have something to indict him. They didn't just say, "Oh, well, let's just indict him." You know, the FBI seems to think it's a credible witness. In the last of the three files, an FBI agent from Los Angeles traveled to New York to interview a potential witness. The agent found this individual unwilling to cooperate and closed the matter. The case went to court in 2005, and Jackson was acquitted of all charges. So in that last one, somebody didn't cooperate. Somebody, a person of interest. Now, do we have any potential Jackson accusers in New York? We do. We do. And whomever that was, we don't know, but this says the person that wanted to talk to the FBI just refused to cooperate. This is somebody who didn't want to say Michael Jackson was innocent or guilty, or we don't know what he has, but this is what the FBI files say. Okay, we don't get to say that just because they didn't find something or a smoking gun that this stuff didn't happen. It's disingenuous. It's not fair to the victims. And it makes you out there who want to defend Michael Jackson think you have something. This is it. And I've heard so many people bring up these files, Charlemagne the God. You keep bringing you brought up this investigation. You know, this was not, and people want to sell this like there was this consistent 10, 12, 17, whatever number you guys are using now, investigation of Michael Jackson. It was not. It was not. So now I'm going to play some of the clips, and you can listen to people from the FBI yourself.
The thing that I hear all the time with the sort of detractors when it comes to Wade Robson and James Safechuck is the fact that they keep on mentioning that there was a 10 to 13 year investigation by the FBI.
That's not true.
All the research that I have done has shown that the FBI aided in investigations in both the 93 and 2005 case, but did not conduct an investigation for 10 to 13 years. Is that correct? Does that sound correct to you?
It is absolutely not true that there was a 10 to 13 year investigation against Michael Jackson. The FBI was requested to assist in the investigations in 93 and 2005. It was 2003 actually. And they did some, like the behavioral analysis unit where I was, actually assisted in helping talk to the victims and develop a prosecutive strategy and so forth. And I was going to provide expert testimony in the trial in 2004, 2005, but ended up getting cancer and having to have a bone marrow transplant. So I was out for 6 months during that time. But the fact is that they only assisted. They didn't do a comprehensive investigation of him. However, there were talks with these victims. FBI agents did interview them and did plan on bringing a federal case against Michael Jackson. However, the statute of limitations ran on that case, and so they were not able to bring a federal case against him. So to say that the FBI did a 10-year or 13-year investigation and found nothing is not true at all. We found Arvizo, we found Jordy Chandler, incredibly truthful, and they were reliable witnesses. They never met each other. They never spoke to each other. They never knew what each other went through, and they told stories that were incredibly parallel. To the point of drawing pictures of his erect penis and the color patches on it and so forth. And there is no question that they would have made a federal case against Michael Jackson. But again, the statute of limitations ran on Jordy Chandler's case, and we were unable to bring a federal case against him. And given the disaster that was the Arvizo trial, and not blaming James or Wade, but had they been in a position where they could have spoken out in 2004 or 2005 instead of Wade testifying for Michael Jackson, if he had understood what the situation was and understood how powerful his testimony would have been, we would have had a major difference in this trial. And that, first of all, I believe Michael Jackson would be alive today, and I believe Michael Jackson would be in jail today if they had been able to testify at that point. The fact that they're able to come out now, that's great. I'm glad that they're working towards, recovery, because they're good people, and they had a lot of pain foisted on them, and just incredibly bad things foisted upon them still to this day, because they now have spoken out. But one of the other things that I will definitely want to address is the fact that people say, well, you can't believe him because he lied. Well, he did lie, and he said he lied, and I believe the reasons why he said he lied are absolutely truthful. That he, for a number of reasons, one, didn't believe it was actually victimization. Two, he actually did think that Michael Jackson loved him. And three, Michael Jackson did fall in love with him and all of his victims. He was a loving pedophile. He's not this kind of sadistic sexual sadist who tried to hurt his victims and got off on that. He actually did fall in love with them. But the fact is, he made the choice to take advantage of them sexually. He sexualized them early. That hurts a child's psyche. That creates problems developmentally. And it's not something that it should be foisted on any child. That's why we have laws that protect children from their own behavior. They can't protect themselves. They don't understand what's going on yet. They're just not developmentally in a place where they can make those kinds of decisions. So the law protects them. And Michael Jackson, because of his money, because of his entourage, because of, flooding the media with campaigns that attacked the people, anybody that came out and spoke against him or testified against him, because of all that, he was able to get away with it while he was alive. But now that's not the case anymore. People are speaking out. Other victims are coming forward. There are a number of other victims. And, I think we'll probably find out that some other people who've said they were never victimized were also victimized.